Good afternoon, everybody. I welcome you all the participants who are present offline and online for the guest lecture on technology and social change, the way forward, who's delivered by Dr. A. Murugan, ADG NRM ICR. So I am pleased to stand before you to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Murugan. He is ADG NRM of ICAR, and it's a very happy thing that he's our alumni or alumni of TNAU. He has did this UG during the year 1988 to 92, and then he did his PG and PhD in IRI. Seeing his all his research works, he's a versatile personality. Though being basically a soil fertility person, he has done his research work starting from soil analysis to nutrient cycling, soil biology, biogeochemistry, spatial variability, and then composting. And finally, he has ended with climate change related researches also. So even his title shows that his title also he has chosen very differently. That is technology and social change. That itself, I think, shows his capacity and caliber to speak about all the things related to soil science and generally science. And to his credit, he has been awarded with so many prestigious awards. He has received Dr. Rajendra Prasad Puraskar Award for Best Technical Book in Hindi. I am underlining it is the best technical book in Hindi. Being a Tamilian, really it is amazing to notice that he has written a book in Hindi and he has got an award. And then he has got Governors Commendation for Contribution to Science and Development Award, and then Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed Award for Outstanding Research in Tribal Farming System, New Delhi. And then his seeing the outcome of research, he has published so many patents for the products and the technology. It is listed for enriched compost preparation, bioconsortia for plant growth promotion under saline condition, land shaping for climate change adaptation, and he has also taken a patent for seaweed extract for plant growth promotion and hydrogel for drought tolerance. So it is very a pleasant thing, and it's also a very great thing. Such a versatile personality is with us today, and we are all eager to hear his expertise and research experience, which he is willfully accepted to share with us. So now I invite the guest speaker to share a few words about his research experience. Thank you.
First, thank you, Dr. Shiba, for giving wonderful introduction about me. It's okay. You are putting through camera also.
Yeah, yes.
Camera yaar irukka? No problem.
Slightly.
No problem. Sir, good morning. Balasubramanian is joined. Okay. So, good afternoon to all. First of all, I thank ACNRI Madurai team, Dr. Mahendra, and also head, and also all the professors and students for inviting me for small interaction. I don't consider it as a lecture because lecture is something different what your professors can give. I cannot give. We are different kind of people. We don't give lectures, not habituated to give lectures, but only we give observations and we do work on science. Basically, research management aspects. But still then, as your dean has also requested to share some of my views and experience with you people, yes, particularly I'm keeping students in my mind to tell. You normally you learn everything in your classroom or university education system about soil science or your subject. That is well known because particularly students from TNAU, I hope that still you are maintaining the same tempo and also the brilliance that we used to undergo earlier times, 30 years before. because we learn most of the things I tell you, particularly soil science. We are, to be honest, we are afraid of our professor. Professor means something, a great personality we cannot even approach. Dr. Durraj Mutia used to be there. If he sits, even going close to him, he will be afraid. Even if he normally interacts, also he will ask question. It will make you think several times. And similarly, I also recall Dr. Mayalaga also, who taught us soil survey. Very interesting personality. I think he's no more. Yeah, very interesting personality. He make us to so much of affection. He used to teach us what is soil survey, how to go soil survey, and all. And I also recall newly at that time, Dr. Shanti has joined, now head in TNA Coimbatore, and Malarvili has joined. Vijay Rani has joined. She is also no more now. Vijay Lakshmi. Sorry, these are all my teachers. Then Dr. Appa was there. So my soil science was quite different. As long as I am in college, I used to study not every day when there is exam only. We have not studied. Used to regularly we don't study soil science. Now I recall.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, only 5 minutes is left for your meeting link, sir. Please update the meeting link.
மீட்டிங் லிங்க்
Link is not there.
ஸோ லிங்க் எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டோம்.
Okay. Why I am telling now, when you grow up, when you see the reality of life outside is different, totally different. You might have told as a student, you will get opportunities because when you commit a mistake, when you are not learning something, when you are not interested, showing interest, it's just like a child. Okay, how we interact with our mother. Mother knows what's our problem. Mother knows when to feed us. Similarly, when you are in a college system or education system, your teachers, they will be the best judges for you. But now, because of students have increased, coursework has increased, burden has increased. Naturally, I feel that the kind of interaction we had, certainly you don't have. We are lucky some 30 years before. We are very close to our professor because once professor makes some comments on me, it means that he has observed me. He has observed me. He has known the best on me. He has known what mistake I am making. So I also recall our students' welfare officer at that time, Dr. Veerabhadran was there. He is a professor agronomy. He suddenly calls 4 or 5 people in his room and he start giving a number 1, 2, 3, 4 advice. You have done this during this your college, during this, because all the feedback goes to him from hostel, from class, or maybe your student's advisor based on your marks. All the things it will go there. And he used to give comments. This is what your problem. So this kind of interaction, I don't know whether you have it or not now. It was a wonderful feedback mechanism or wonderful supervision that we had. That is the best system. When I go out of this, when I landed in USA also for my postdoc, I observed this. This is one of the best system TNU has there. It means a kind of observation by your professor and senior that we have enjoyed that shaped my career. I have not got any good marks. I am not outstanding 4 out of 4. I am an average student. History knows better. We used to chit chat, but what we have spent is in the classroom or in the soil science laboratory. So meticulously, my teacher was to teach us what mistake you are making. We make a lot of mistake. When you do organic carbon titration, after finishing, at the end, we'll standing in the classroom. Dr. Durraj Mujia used to come and make a round. By seeing the color, how much extra added you have, acids, the titration, he will say, not like this. 1 drop extra, you have to stop. Otherwise, your observation is wrong. Why I am telling, as a students of soil science or chemistry, you should have a good observation skill because 1 drop, the indicator will change the color. So we used to focus how to convince them. Maybe I may not used to write good answers. Maybe myself, we are from Tamil medium school at that time. We are not able to quickly adjust to the English teaching system. Now your professors are how they are teaching, I don't know, because now I am away from the system 30 years. At that time, initially when I joined, at that time the review system is not there. All my teachers, they were from high profile. So suddenly they put all the professor into the first year, thinking that at that time Dr. Was there, Dean was there, Monicam was there. He brought the best teacher from the college, all are professor cadre. He put in the first year student. So they talk very high profile English. Okay, they will say all mostly half of them are foreign written, half of them are postdoc student, postdoc they have completed. They talk very high profile English. We couldn't understand what these people are talking. But still, then we used to write something and we discuss with the senior what to do with this. I'm not able to understand anything what the teacher says. Then maybe after my batch, Dr. Manikam and later Sangran sir came, they realized that it is a mistake. Giving a professor to the first year is a mistake. So professors should teach at third year or fourth year or postdoc or PG student, not the first year student. So he changed immediately to the newcomers. There we got the all first joined teachers. So then we became very comfortable with them because they are so friendly and we started learning. So why I want to recall is it's my feel that I learned from here. When I went back from these institutes, Madurai, I have not, to be honest, I have not learned big things here when I was a student. I was so average student. But when I go back, I kept all these notes, what we have prepared, all the books, everything what we have. Then I started learning in my home. At maybe 6 months, I got time. After this, then only I started learning what we have learned. I used to recall in the classroom what we have studied, how my teacher takes the practical classes and all. That observation is very absolutely very important. So how they teach, then I understand or realized, and the effort my professors or my associate professors they have taken, particularly in soil science and other discipline, how effort they have put to teach the students. Why I am telling, when you go out of this, you don't get such opportunities again. Never you will get opportunity. That's like I am telling him also, a professor is professor, you will not get it again. Maybe you have different opinion, maybe you have been scolded, but at cultures, a student teacher relationship, that relationship always two-way process. They understand your mistake. They have gone through so many students. They try to shape you. This is something free of cost. They are all. One is they are giving you the knowledge that saves you. Even if you are not getting any good knowledge, information you will get anywhere, any part of time you can learn information. Whoever is sitting here, Dr. Shiba or Christy, they are the best student. Maybe they are having 4 out of 4 in soil science. I am not 4 out of 4 in soil science. But my recall is I was the one of the best I can tell for observation. I learned the things by observation, not by writing or reading. Later on, I improved my knowledge because when there is a pressure on me, when there is a compulsion on me, then I have learned it. I started reading books, I started learning from so many things. But the kind of observation, kind of attitude change which was brought in me, that was by the professors and my teachers when I was studying, including my seniors, that will be there with you, that you will not get anywhere in the world, even in outside also. That attitude. Why I'm telling, very important thing this is, from my experience I'm telling, because we have to come out of ourselves. When I come here first, you're comfortable with English,
Yes.
all student. I will talk in Tamil because once I was struggling to talk in English, now I struggle to talk in Tamil. I am more comfortable in Hindi and other language now rather than talking in Tamil. Okay, நம்ம எல்லாம் தமிழ்ல பேசுவோம். No problem. All are knows Tamil. அப்போ எனக்கு என்ன வருது அப்படின்னா, you have to come out of yourself. That freedom from yourself. That's the only point I want to stress upon you. இப்போ நீங்க ஸ்கூல்ல படிச்சாச்சு, you have done your schooling, particularly boys, I am telling. How only two you are? Only two boys? Okay. So all the students, you have mold of yourself. உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு மோல்டு இருக்கும் இல்லையா? நான் இப்படிதான். பாய்ஸ்க்கு வந்து இது ரொம்ப இருக்கும் இல்லையா? காலேஜில் நான் இப்படிதான் இருப்பேன். ஐ won't give up anything. ஸோ somebody ஈவன் நீங்க மற்றவங்ககிட்ட இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணா கூட அவன் ஏதாவது உங்களுக்கு கிரிட்டிசைஸ் பண்ணிட்டான், லெக் புல்லிங் பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னா வில் கெட் இரிட்டேட். பர்டிகுலர்லி கேர்ள்ஸ் ஆல்சோ தே டோன்ட் இன்ட்ராக்ட், தே ஹேவ் லிமிடேஷன்ஸ். அது ஏன் வருது அப்படின்னா we have confinement. ஸோ அந்த கன்ஃபைன்மெண்ட் இருக்கிறதுனால தான் நம்ம அடுத்தவங்களோட இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ற முடியுது, பர்டிகுலர்லி இன் காலேஜ். ஏன்னா நம்மளுடைய ஒன்று ஈகோ இருக்கும் நமக்கு, ரெண்டாவது நமக்குன்னு ஒரு மோல்டு இருக்கும் இல்லையா? யூ ஹாவ் மோல்டு. அந்த மோல்டுக்குள்ள நான் வந்தாச்சுன்னா யூ won't accept. You feel something, it's a privacy. Privacy is different. Privacy is different. Okay. அந்த மோல்டுக்குள்ள இன்னொருத்தவங்க வந்தாச்சுன்னா, அந்த ஸ்ட்ரக்சருக்குள்ள இன்னொருத்தவங்க வந்தாச்சுன்னா we don't accept that. இதுதான் நம்மளுடைய ப்ராப்ளம் இந்த காலேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட், அஸ் அ காலேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட். அப்போ இதுல இருந்து நம்ம வந்து ஃப்ரீடம் வேணும். ஃப்ரீடம்னா விடுதலை ஆகணும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் யூ நீட் அ ஃப்ரீடம் ஃப்ரம் யுவர் ஓன் மோல்டு. காலேஜுங்கிறது வேற ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. ஸ்கூல் வரைக்கும் உங்களுக்கு எப்படி இருக்குன்னா, தெர் ஆர் only two terms you understand. There is a growth, there is a development. You have studied in economics, growth and development. Why they say growth and development? What is growth? What is development? Anybody? Right. Okay.
Efficiency we can get.
Okay. Almost. அப்போ கேர்ள்ஸ் யோசிக்க மாட்டீங்களா? சொல்லுங்க. ஐ எம் நாட் கோயிங் டு எவாலுவேட். எங்க பேச்சுல கேர்ள்ஸ் தான் நிறைய பேசுவாங்க, நாங்களாம் பேசவே மாட்டோம். we are minorities. எங்க கிளாஸ்மேட் 80 கேர்ள்ஸ் அண்ட் only 20 பாய்ஸ். 20 பேர் பின்னாடி தான் உட்காருவோம். ஐ ஆம் த லாஸ்ட் பெஞ்சர். growth அப்படின்னா ஒன் பாயிண்ட் இஸ் குட். யுவர் சார் இட்ஸ் அ அவுட்புட், இன்க்ரீஸ்டு அவுட்புட் ஓவர் அ பீரியட் ஆஃப் டைம். தட்ஸ் growth. அப்போ நீங்க ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கிறீங்கன்னா யூ ஹாவ் அ growth. 0ல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல ஆரம்பிக்கிறீங்க, +2 வரைக்கும் படிச்சாச்சு நம்ம. தட் இஸ் அ growth. மக்கப் பண்ணோம், எக்ஸாம் எழுதணும், பாஸ் பண்ணிட்டோம், அடுத்த கிளாஸ் போயிட்டோம், அடுத்து ஹையர் கிளாஸ்க்கு போறோம். இட்ஸ் growth. It's growth. One is physically you are growing, then you are achieving something and you are learning so many things. Learning or getting information, that is growth. But in a college or university system, other than growth, you are undergoing a development. நம்ம வந்து டெவலப் ஆகிறோம். சரியா? ஒன்று வந்து வளர்ச்சி. தமிழ்ல சொன்னா வளர்ச்சி, growthல வளர்றோம். முதல்ல +2 வரைக்கும் வளர்றோம். ஸ்கூல் சிஸ்டத்துல டீச்சர்ஸ் they focus on your growth. Parents will focus on your growth. Physical growth, mental growth. படிக்கிறோம், ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கிறோம், knowledge growth. But still you are not in the process of development. Development அப்படிங்கிறது எப்படின்னா, இப்போ நம்ம கண்ட்ரி எடுத்துட்டோம் அப்படின்னா, first growth, economic growth we say, and economic development. When the country plans first, people concentrate on growth of the economy. Economic growth ஆகுது. இப்போ என்ன அர்த்தம்? GDP. They call it GDP. Isn't it? Gross domestic product. So gross domestic product of the country increase ஆகுது அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னா, say this year maybe from 5 lakhs crore it increased to 7 lakhs crore next year. It is called growth. Increase in income over a period of time. But development என்ன? டெவலப்மெண்ட்ங்கிறது சிம்பிள், யூ ஹேவ் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். இன்க்ளூசிவ் ஆஃப் growth. அந்த 2 lakhs crore அடிஷனல் இன்கம் யாருக்கு போகுது, எங்க இருந்து வருது? ரைட்? அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் செக்டர்ல இருந்து வருதா, சர்வீஸ் செக்டர்ல இருந்து வருதா, செகண்டரி செக்டர் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ்ல இருந்து வருதா? இந்த பணத்தை நம்ம செலவு பண்ணிட்டோம். கவர்மெண்ட் இஸ் ஸ்பெண்டிங். வேர் தே ஆர் ஸ்பெண்டிங்? வெதர் தே ஸ்பெண்ட் இட் ஆன் எஜுகேஷன், வெதர் தே ஸ்பெண்ட் இட் ஆன் medical or health affairs of the people, whether there is a social spending, whether there is spending on growth of employment in the country. So how the structures is designed and how this money inflow outflow enters and convert this growth into development means structural modification. இருக்கிறது அப்படியே இருக்குது. நீங்க வந்து 10 வயசு ஆகுறீங்க, 12 வயசு ஆயிடுச்சு, இட்ஸ் growth. பட் 40 வயசுல இருந்து 60 வயசு ஆகுது, growth is there, but there is something structural modification, something thought process modification, something attitude change. This is called your development. So this development occurs when you come out of yourself. நம்மள இருந்து நம்ம விடுதலை அடையணும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட். ஸோ நம்மளுடைய மோல்டுல இருந்து வெளியில வரணும். That gives you when you are studying in a college, when you are in a higher education, That is the purpose of higher education. You should have a development. That is people call developmental studies. What is developmental studies? Developmental studies அப்படின்னா how we can bring education is not growth alone. Educational indicators of development. So how the different sections of the people they are coming out with the educational background. How their school dropout has decreased. How the school dropout ends up with the college. How the college students ends up with the employment, getting employment opportunities. Now how the employment opportunity has been created in the private sector for high scientific work. These are all structural modification, structural changes. In the changes that we call it a development. So as a student or during this, you should now onwards, you should focus on your development, not on your growth. Your growth is over. Now your development also includes your growth. That will automatically happen. But how you are developing yourself. அந்த டெவலப்மெண்ட் வரணும்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் யூ ஹவ் டு கம் அவுட் ஆஃப் யுவர் மோல்ட். அந்த மோல்ட் நான் இதுதான் படிப்பேன், இதுதான் எனக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட். நாங்கள் படிக்கும்போது சொல்லுவாங்க, நோ நோ யூ ஆர் 4 out of 4 யூ ஸ்டடி ஃபார் என்டமாலஜி, யூ ஆர் திஸ் மச் யூ ஸ்டடி ஃபார் திஸ் கோர்ஸ். These are all some indications people will give. We start like this, we started like this. Then how you are molded. But most important thing is this learning, this target my professor has not given me. These are all the target my friends and my seniors have given us. That targets will drive you. Ego drive பண்ணக்கூடாது நம்ம. Your ego should never drive you. I have an ego. I am rich man. Okay, I am the best student. I get best thing. Or this is what I am. I am the most intelligent. This is the ego drive. Ego should not drive you. Ego should remain with you. But the target should drive you. That is what you have to learn in the college. You should have a target. அந்த நீங்க வந்து என்ன மார்க் வச்சிருக்கீங்க, எந்த கோர்ஸ் எடுக்க போறோம், சிம்பிள் டிரைவ். சிம்பிள் டிரைவ். யூ ஹாவ் ஸ்மால் டார்கெட். அந்த இலக்கு நோக்கி நம்ம பயணப்படும். எங்க போறோம்னு தெரியாம போகக்கூடாது. இலக்கு இருக்கணும். ஒவ்வொருத்தருக்கும் மனசுக்குள்ள இலக்கு இருக்கணும். அந்த இலக்கு வைக்கணும்னா யூ ஹவ் டு கம் அவுட் ஆஃப் யுவர் மோல்ட். நாகராஜ் சொல்றோம், அவர் வந்து ஃபீல்ட்ல போய் ஒர்க் பண்றாரு அப்படின்னா, நவ் ஆன்வர்ட்ஸ் வாட் எவர் வி ஆஸ்க், வாட் எவர் யூ ஹவ் லேர்ன், ஆல் யுவர் ஃபீலிங்ஸ் வில் கோ ஆஃப். Now you are doctor, now you feel the comfort. When you go outside, நீங்க ஃபீல் பண்ணுவீங்க, நான் எப்படி படிச்சேன், எப்படி எனக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க, how my guide guided me. And the knowledge will remain with you. All your pains, the things that you have undergone will vanish. That is your mold. நீங்க என்ன ஃபீல் பண்ணீங்க, சர்மனால் சொல்ல கோவம் வரும், என்ன இருந்தாலும் பொழுதுனைக்கு நம்மளுக்கு டார்ச்சர் கொடுக்குறாரு, என்ன அந்த கமிட்டி தப்புன்னு சொல்லுது, எல்லாமே மறந்துடுவீங்க. எல்லாம் அதெல்லாம் நம்மளோட மோல்டு, நம்ம ஆட்டிடியூட். நம்ம ஆட்டிடியூட்ல அதை பெர்சீவ் பண்ணிருக்கோம். நான் எப்படி இருக்கிறேன், ஒரு பஞ்சு வந்து தண்ணியை உரியிற மாதிரி, இன்னொன்று ஆர்கானிக் மேட்டர் தண்ணி உரியிற மாதிரி. ஹவ் ஐ பெர்சீவ், ஹவ் ஐ அப்சர்வ் த திங், அது எல்லாமே வெளியில போயிடும். Then finally what remains when you come out of it, then only you will interact with the reality of the world. அப்பதான் வந்து நம்ம உண்மையோட இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணணும், ரியாலிட்டியோட இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணணும். ஒன்னு இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணணும், ரெண்டாவது நமக்கு டார்கெட் இருக்கும், இலக்கு இருக்கும். அந்த இலக்கு இல்லாத வாழ்க்கை என்னைக்குமே பயன்படாது. You will never succeed because to get succeed you need a target. ஸோ வாழ்க்கையில என்னைக்குமே நம்ம சக்சஸே ஆக மாட்டோம். ஏன் ஆக மாட்டேன், நிறைய பேர் சொல்லுவான், என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் நிறைய சொல்லுவாங்க, இங்க சொல்லுவாங்க வாழ்க்கையே வெறுத்து போச்சு, என்ன ஒன்றும் இல்லை அப்படின்னா, why you are using that word? Because we don't have target for the day, for the year, for the month, for the class. So if you don't have target, you often feel this, that today is best. So நீங்க இலக்கு நோக்கி பயணப்படுறீங்கன்னா, maybe today it's a 5%, maybe tomorrow it is 10%, but 10% is your success. Your success rate is 10%. Don't bother about your 90% failure because you are moving towards your target. நம்மளுடைய அந்த இலக்கு நோக்கி பயணம் தான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமே தவிர நம்மளுடைய சக்சஸ் வந்து இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கிடையாது இன் யுவர் ஸ்டேஜ். ஸோ அந்த இலக்கு நோக்கி நம்ம பயணப்படணும்னா, அந்த இலக்கை நம்ம ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணணும்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வி ஹவ் டு கம் அவுட் சைடு அவர் செல்ஃப். நம்ம கிட்ட நம்ம வெளியில வரணும், நம்ம மோல்டுல இருந்து வெளியில வரணும், நம்ம ஈகோல இருந்து வெளியில வரணும் as a student. ஸோ இதை மட்டும் நீங்க லேர்ன் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா then you will go for development. So development occurs only if you understand this, right? One is your structural modification. Structure in the sense not your physical structure, not in your beauty, not in your built up. It's your progressive attitude. And the attitude building is very, very important, I tell you. Attitude building is very important in college stage. இங்க நீங்க built up பண்ணலைன்னா you will never build up. இங்க நீங்க built up பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா nobody can change in your life ever. யாருனாலும் உங்க attitude சேஞ்ச் பண்ண முடியாது அதுக்கப்புறம். Because only you will analyze. That analyze, then you understand is very, very critical when you are studying the college. நீங்க படிக்கிறீங்களா, என்ன மார்க் வாங்குறீங்க, எப்படி போறீங்க, it's immaterial. How you get molded yourself later on. You give up, learn, give your target, then you go for development. உங்களை நீங்க டெவலப் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. Development doesn't mean you should have good marks. Development doesn't mean that you should get immediately job. இதெல்லாம் டெவலப்மெண்ட்டே கிடையாது. That will come along your way. At any time it will come. Provided you should have the right attitude. ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து நம்மளுடைய ரொம்ப ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். இம்மீடியட்டா உங்களுக்கு எதுவுமே கிடைக்கல. ஸோ மேபி யூ ஆர் கெட்டிங் only 10%, மேபி யூ ஆர் கெட்டிங் only small job. You should feel that yes, I am moving towards my target. என்னோட இலக்கு நோக்கி நான் போயிட்டு இருக்கேன். அதுல நான் 15% தான் நான் succeeded. Still 85% is there to be succeeded. ஸோ அந்த பயணம் நம்ம போய்கிட்டே இருக்கோம் throughout your life. It never ends. Right? ஸோ இந்த ஆட்டிடியூட் வந்து நீங்க வரணும். இதுதான் டெவலப்மெண்ட். ஓகே, what you understand growth and development. So as a student, if you understand the development, now your life will be so happy. You can interact with the student. So அந்த ஈகோ போயிடுச்சு, நம்ம ஆட்டிடியூட் மோல்டு போயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா you can interact with your friends. ஹாஸ்டல் ரொம்ப ஜாலியா இருக்கும் இல்லையா? You will enjoy your life. இங்க இருந்து போயிட்டேன்னா நமக்கு திருப்பி அது கிடைக்காது. Now I cannot sit and talk with my parents. Even I don't get even 5 minutes to talk with my friends in office. We don't get time. But காலேஜில் படிக்கும்போது நிறைய டைம் கிடைக்கும். Plenty of time is there. How you are utilizing. சிட் சாட் பண்ணிட்டு உட்காந்துட்டு இருக்கோம். இதுதான் அதுல என்ஜாய். இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. How much we are giving up. How much we are compromising. How we are compromising. Very important. Because there are, if you want to grow as a leader, why I am telling, I choose technology and social change. These are all social changes. இப்போ நாங்க படிக்கிற போல இதெல்லாம் இருந்தது. எப்படி இருந்தது அப்படின்னா in term hidden. It's a hidden. How I learn from my teacher, how I learn from my seniors, how my friends I learn from my seniors. That was my society. Now the society is different. Now the society is technology driven. Now the society is IT driven. Now the society is social media driven. இல்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 90% fraud. You take your WhatsApp, you take your YouTube, 90% fraud, 90% wrong information. So you get driven towards this. So நீங்க நல்லா படிக்கணும் அப்படின்னா முதல்ல புக்கு படிங்க. Keep off your mobile phone. Mobile phone is only for communications. It is started as a communication device. So இங்க இருந்து நீங்க போறீங்கன்னா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் அப்படின்னா one thing you take home, don't use your mobile for any of the information. ஏதாவது சர்வீசஸ் இருக்குன்னா we can use, we can communicate. Otherwise, if you are studying, you read a book. Reading a 10 page per day, 10 page, just a 10 page will open up your mind and you will start thinking. You just practice. Even you read 5 page, you read 5 page. In the College of Madurai, when I was studying, we hardly study 2 page of book by force from my seniors. They asked us to read the book. My professor asked us to read the book in the class, just like 8th class student. But when you go outside, when you're reading 2 page, it will open up your mind for imagination. But நீங்க மீடியாவை எடுத்து பண்ணுங்க, சோசியல் மீடியாவை எடுத்து பண்ணுங்க, it will never allow you for imagination. It is missing. You don't get any imagination. Only you will see, throw it out. கண்ணு வலிக்கும், எல்லாமே வலிக்கும், we don't imagine. But when you are reading a book, it opens up opportunities for imagination, recall, inter comparison. ஒரு வீடியோ போகுது அப்படின்னா ஒரு 1 minute முன்னாடி என்ன போச்சு அப்படின்னு அடுத்த மினிட் நீங்க கம்பேர் பண்ண முடியாது. அடுத்தடுத்த சீன் வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். அடுத்தடுத்த லைட் மாத்திக்கிட்டே இருப்பான். முதல் லைட்டா போடுவான், அப்புறம் பிரைட்டா போடுவான், மியூசிக் ஹையா இருக்கும், மியூசிக் லோவா இருக்கும். These are all to keep you attractive towards this. இதெல்லாம் வந்து கிளாமர், just to keep your senses towards that, not open up your mind. It is to attract your senses. It is designed for senses. Clear? So என்ன மியூசிக் கொடுத்தா நீங்க அட்ராக்ட் ஆவீங்க, எப்போ ஹை எப்போ லோ எல்லாம் டிசைன் பண்ணி எல்லாம் ரிசர்ச் பண்ணி போடுவான். Nothing about it. You can enjoy for a while. But as a student, book reading is very, very important. You read it. Book reading ஆவலைன்னா உங்க இமேஜினேஷன் இருக்காது. ஒரு பேஜ் இன்னொரு பேஜையும் கம்பேர் பண்ண முடியாது. அடுத்து என்ன வரும்னு உங்களால ப்ரிடிக்ட் பண்ண முடியும். But when you read a book, all the things you will learn. Book reading is very, very important. It improves your memory. It improves your memory. It improves your intercomparison. It improves your analytical ability. இது இல்லாம நீங்க ஒரு பெஸ்ட் ஸ்டூடெண்டா வெளியில வரவே முடியாது. In the years to come, society will be different. எல்லாமே பாதி பேர் இந்த ஏமாத்துக்காரனா இருப்பான் சொசைட்டில. எல்லாம் வாட்ஸ்அப்ல இருக்கிறதோ சோசியல் மீடியாவில் இருக்கிறதா உண்மைன்னு நினைச்சிட்டு எனத்தையும் அதை போட்டுட்டே இருப்பாங்க. all fabricated messages will come. இதுல இருந்து எப்படி நம்ம அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்றது? It's a big question. That will be the society there when you go out. Societal changes is there. ஏன்னா இப்போ எல்லாமே வந்து social media driven industry. But it won't last for long. One day the society will fall. How long? இப்போ ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வெளியில போறாங்க அப்படின்னா இன்னைக்கு உங்களுடைய டார்கெட் என்ன? A small mobile phone, 10,000 rupees salary, then one bike to roam around. So this is what our target. So நம்ம லைஃப் வந்து ஒரு மீடியாக்குள்ளேயும் ஒரு டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்குள்ளேயும் பொறிஞ்சு போச்சு இல்லையா? ஸோ எவர் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைட் வித் திஸ் லைஃப் அது இல்லை. லைஃப் இஸ் மச் மோர். When you think of growth, this is the growth. But when you think of development, you have to imagine. You have to set your target. இவ்வளோ டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் தான் என்னோட லைஃபா? That will get saturated. You will get saturated. மீடியா முடிஞ்சு போயிடும், டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் முடிஞ்சு போயிடும், வசதிகள் முடிஞ்சு போயிடும், சாப்பாடு எல்லாம். All the things will come to an end one day. Then what you are achieved. So if you don't have a target clearly, you will not. You don't have target after that. So all fabricated message will fill up your mind and it will bring down your level of understanding. It will bring down your idealism. Idealism is not achievable, but you should have also some bit of idealism. Why I want to say here, this societal change. One more thing we will recall here. We are all students. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Yes, he is no more, but still then I want to recall him. You heard about him? அவரோட கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் என்ன? கிரீன் ரெவல்யூஷன். கிரீன் ரெவல்யூஷன்ங்கிறது ஒரு சொசைட்டல் அவுட்கம் அவர் கொடுத்தாரு. அதுல என்ன ஒர்க் பண்ணாரு சொல்லுங்க? ஹை ஹீல்டிங் வெரைட்டிஸ் இல்லையா? டுவார்ஃப் ஜீன்ஸை டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணி அவர் பண்ணல, அர்னோன் பொருளாக் பண்ணாரு. ஹி brought it to the Indian conditions. வேற என்ன பண்ணாரு? fertilizer. Adan green revolution is part of it. As a soil scientist, you should know high fertilizer efficient crops, edaphic tolerance crops, different abiotic stress tolerance. எல்லாம் பண்ணாங்க. Okay, fine. Swaminathan கிட்ட மற்ற விஷயம்லாம் பண்ணணும். Maybe now you will see in the social media negative and positive about Swaminathan also. First you have to say Swaminathan is an alumni of TNAU. He was at then Madras University. Okay, now TNAU. He is an alumni of TNAU. We should be proud of it. Second, he studied in IRI. First student. Before independence of India. He completed 47 to 49. He is MSc in genetics, cytogenetics. Okay. Then he studied directly to Cambridge University, London, for his PhD. So this is what his career. Why I am telling, as a student from Tamil Nadu, at that time, he was not knowing anything much about it. Our Cambridge University Ponapo, he was applied. No media at that time, no internet. Only letter goes by paper only. So before his application goes, he is landed in London. He went and visited his professor, where he is applied for his doctorate program. Then he went to his professor directly. He asked, "Sir, I have come for this application. I have given. Where is the status?" That man might have laughed. He recalls in his autobiography. He might have laughed at me. Then he called, "I have not received your applications. And you are from India." So, one, உங்களுக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் தெரியாது, for a non-English speaking country, and cytogenetics at that time, it was a high profile science because very important science at that time picking up. Continuously from 47 to 52, there was around 7 to 8 Nobel Prize was given to only for genetics people. So, he might have laughed at me from Cambridge University. He said, I didn't receive your applications. இப்போ அதுக்கப்புறம் அவர் இன்டர்வியூ பண்றாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்துட்டு what happened? Then the professor interacts with him about the genetics, what work he has done. He worked on polyploid. That went to the later on your gene transfer. Okay, he built the basic. Polyploid, he worked on Solanum tuberosa. Potato work பண்ணிக்கிறார். Polyploid, transfer of origin of species by polyploid, multiplications of genes. How the genes multiply at that time, nobody knows it. Number of chromosomes is more. Number of alleles are more in polyploid. In wild species, more things are there. So you get into differentiate into different species. So it is almost close to origin of species by polyploid technique. இவரோட presentations பார்த்துட்டு ஸ்கில்ல பார்த்துட்டு you don't believe Swaminathan was appointed as a research professor. research teacher in Cambridge University. In the day first, he took a UG class. Afternoon, he took the PhD class. Can you believe it? He went for PhD study as a poor Indian. His application is not reached there. But after his interview, he was appointed as a research teacher for UG class to teach genetics. Then he started his study in the afternoon only. This is what happened. Means before going, he has prepared himself. அப்போ அன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற சொசைட்டியோட நீட் வந்து ஃபுட். You have to go for food. Why I recall Swaminathan, there is a specific purpose. Quickly I will tell you. Food is very important. ஏன்னா அன்னைக்கு வந்து நமக்கு 6 to 8 million tons food இருக்குது. அவங்களோட டார்கெட் 25 million tons. Till we were deficit of 15 million tons food grain. This is where M.S. Swaminathan started working. Then he went there, he studied his PhD. Then immediately his PhD, he was appointed in Netherlands as a UNESCO chair. Nobody would have imagined that Swaminathan's feat now also we cannot achieve. So immediately after his PhD, he was appointed as a UNESCO chair in Wageningen University. So he was there for 1 year. He was preparing how the world has to prepare him itself to address the issue of this one. There he told, much before he started breeding work, he told there is an international union is required for conservation of biodiversity. He started Biodiversity International when he was a UNESCO chair. That later became IUCN, International Union of Conservation of Nature. இப்போ நீங்க பார்க்கலாம், கூகுள் பண்ணி பாருங்க, any species in the world, either plant or animal, complete species, they have given IUCN status. They will give status means whether it is endangered, whether it is extinct, whether it is there, what is its status, where it is located, how it is distributed, where it is concerned. That conservation and current status will be there. This work was initiated in 1952 by M.S. Swaminathan. Much before he started green revolution. People say, critics of Swaminathan say that he has eroded the genetic diversity. But before going for breeding, he started conservation first. He started conservation, then only he went for breeding, not first breeding. This is what his life history says. From there, he went to USA to pursue his postdoc. Then after this USA, he was offered a professor in the university in the US, very lucrative post at that time in 1954. When the country, nobody knows what is genetics, what is the allele, what is gene. So he was offered a professorship in the USA, but he refused to stay there. Then he returned back. And no job here immediately for his knowledge. So he joined as a resource associate. Katak, Central Rice Research Institute, CRI Katak. He joined as a resource associate. So don't bother about immediately you don't get a job. If you're getting SRF or temporary job, don't bother for this. Your life is there. That's what I'm telling you. Your target is there. You are achieved 5%. 95% yet to be achieved. This is what you have to keep it in mind. So this is what Swaminathan has thought at that time for his technology, how he perceived. Then after 1 year, he works there for rice. It helped him to study the wild species. Then he immediately got an offer in IRI, New Delhi. Okay, there he joined the genetics division. When he joined the genetic division, then he understood what is the problem with India at that time. So only 6 million tons, but we required 25 million tons. So they started Green Revolution program. He invited Norman Borlaug. Then he invited other experts in genetics at that time. They have succeeded in transferring genes from wild species to cultivated species, which increase yield as well as starch in stage and other nitrogen responsiveness, edaphic conditions are. 3-4 experts have come from Japan and USA. But ironically, no Indians at that time, even in IRI, they are not able to understand what Borlaug is talking about. So except Swaminathan, nobody could have understand what they were talking about. So they say, what is this dwarfing gene? Okay, do you understand? But dwarfing gene, how it express? What is the transferable trait? People are not able to understand. Only these guys have understood this. He was very junior most. He was not even ahead at that time in 66. He was only scientist, senior scientist. But in 71, he became Director General of ICR. In 4 years, So 2 years he became director of IRA. He thrown out the job. Then he was appointed in 71 a director general of Indian Council of Agriculture Research. A senior scientist has been appointed in 4 years. But in this 4 year, you see from wheat production from 6 million tonnes food grain production jumped to 28 million tonnes in 3 years because of this dwarfing gene conversion. So they brought the breeder seeds, then they multiplied it quickly, parallelly, then they given it to the farmer, then they organized everything to multiply the seed. Seed multiplication is very important. You cannot eat away everything at the time. First 3 years, you have to multiply the seed. How fast you will multiply? India requires more than almost 15 million tonnes. Then food grain requirement was 30 million tonnes at that time. How you will multiply from a 100 kg seed which was brought by Norman Borlaug? Norman Borlaug gave only 100 kg seeds. Using that, they have brought green revolution in India in 3 years. So our food grain production rose from 6 million tonnes to 30 million in 3 years. Why I am telling one important point as a student you have to understand. Behind MS Swaminathan, this is his feat. This is his achievement as a scientist. So in 4 years, he was appointed as a first director general, or you can say first Tamilian to occupy such a high profile post. Research management position in the entire country, which oversee the green revolution. We must be proud of it. But behind him, there is one politician. There are two politicians. One, the Prime Minister of India. Another is Dr. C. Subramanian, our own minister, agriculture minister at that time. Their role has to be analyzed as a student. Though it is out of your purview, I am telling, because C. Subramanian has quickly assessed what is the potential of MS Swaminathan. What is his vision? Not as a scientist. How he oversee, how he have a long-term vision for India, how these green revolution seeds of 100 kg seeds, which is supplied by USA, Norman Borlaug has given, how to multiply, how to breed, how to bring diversity, how to multiply into the entire country. That vision of Swaminathan, he picked it up. Then immediately he implemented. And none of them at that time is not able to foresee how to multiply and how to give brought it to the entire country. So immediately he made MS Swaminathan as a Director General of ICR. Immediately. So sitting as a secretary, it's a secretary post. Okay. There are two posts. One is there, we call it Department of Agriculture Research and Education under the ministry. You have a secretary. So secretary act as a DG ICR also. It's a dual post. Only in scientific department we will have in India. Then imagine how our political leadership has imagined our country. No other place you will have this secretary. You go to any other secretary, DST secretary, he will be only DST secretary. None of the institutions he will be heading. Institute will be headed by directors. You go to other department, you take agriculture, we have another department, Department of Agriculture, secretary is only secretary. None of the institute he will have control over. He don't know even what is going on there. You take any department, even forestry secretary, he'll only secretary forestry. But only in ICR, then only in Department of Atomic Energy, you have first scientific department chief. That chief will be the secretary of the scientific department. This is the structure at the time our political leadership has built in Indian system. Okay, this is the most important thing that you have to understand as a student. Why I am telling this? The vision of political leadership, the quality of politicians at that time is so high, so strong. You are sitting in the Madurai campus. You learned something about Mr. Kakkan. You have Kakkan Auditorium. Have you heard about him? How he built this institute? You will be surprising. You'll be surprising. I was told he was given only 4 lakh rupees to build this Madurai campus. Then he went around throughout the Madurai, all the big landlords, begging for money and begging for the land to offer. So with 4 lakh rupees, he started construction of this entire Madurai campus. Now, if you give 4 lakh rupees now, what will happen? People will say not even it is sufficient for preparing DPR. Detailed project report itself, they will eat away the money. But this 4 lakh is insufficient even to put a fencing of this campus. But he built this beautiful campus. You just read Kakkan's story because he is son of the soil. He is from this part of the country. You should understand when you go before you go out of it. This question was asked to me when I was appearing for TNBC, my interview. They asked, who is Kakkan? What is his contribution? Instead of telling contribution, I told where he succeeded, how he succeed when compared to the current politician. That is what a student you should understand. Because Swaminathan was only junior scientist. He was made DG because the political leadership he quickly picked up his vision for India. That is very important. And similarly, the politicians at that time, he is not seen. This fellow is my case. This fellow is my region. This fellow is known to me. This fellow offers money. Nothing. They have the vision for the country. So he picked up, put right person in the right place. In 3 years, these combinations of C. Subramanian and M. S. Swaminathan and Lal Bahadur Shastri, later Indira Gandhi, brought green revolution for India. So this is why I am telling is there is a social change and there is a technology. So you have agriculture technology coming in way for us in India, but how to absorb this technology? Until otherwise you don't have a social system, until otherwise you have a political system in the country, we cannot absorb this technology. Otherwise, just like Pakistan and other third world country, you should have taken 50 years more to achieve this. Now Indian population is 140 crore. You will surprise in 66 India was importing 8 million tons of food grain from USA alone. 8 million tons. In 71, Indira Gandhi declared India was self-sufficient in food grain. Not now. This is declaring we are self-sufficient, Atmanirbhar. These are all wrong information. In 71, you see, Indira Gandhi declared in the parliament, India was self-sufficient in food grain. Total production divided by number of population, this much we have. But still, that was the growth, not a development. Development comes when this food is accessible to everyone. So that is what Swaminathan started working in his second part of the day. First, he worked for the growth of the country. Second half, he worked for the development of the country. Clear? So when he started his own research foundation in Taramani, he worked for this coming in agriculture in a long way. And similarly, you have a social change which is occurring in the political as well as scientific front. So these two was combined very efficiently by these people. So this is the day we have to recall. We have to recall these people. This is what these guys have done for us. So now before touching food, now we must understand this, how it has come to us in our table. So now India has 30 rupees, 35 rupees rice. You convert into dollar, it is hardly one third. 80 rupees, 80 rupees is $1. You convert how much it is? One third dollar. 25 cent. In USA, will you get 25 cent 1 kg rice? Nowhere in the world you will get 25 cent 1 kg rice. Only in India you will get. Because this benefit of growth and development has been transferred to the people. Because the country has created as access to the food system. So that is what I say, it is a development. Science and technology for the service of the society. This is what has taken. So this is our history. So whatever science and technology has come, it has been transferred to the social benefit. That is why you are getting a 30 rupees rice 1 kg in India. Nowhere else you will get it. It's very tough to believe that in 60s, late 60s, we are not able to feed ourselves. Now we are getting the best price in the world. This is the truth. Why I am telling this, you have to analyze when you go back. What is the contribution of these great people from our own country, our own land, our own college? How they contributed, how they got the global vision to observe this technology. So just think of it. Just I want to recall and give you a glimpse of what Swaminathan has done. First part of his life is growth, and second part of his life is developmental work. That is what these people have transformed our society into self-sufficient in food grains and nutrition security. It is not real. It is not by word. It is not by drama. It is not by anything else. It is a reality. When you touch food, you will realize it. We have realized it. That's what we have to learn, how the technology has come. Now we come to the present day society. Now I said already, it's a social media driven. It is technology driven, IT driven. But basic science is missing. As a students of natural resource management and soil science, this you have to be very clear. One or two questions I have asked to Nagaraj also. It is not to you. It's for everybody. Everybody. So recently I have been facing some of the questions from Parliament, some of the questions from other part. Used to ISER headquarters, you used to answer all these questions. One guy asked, what is effect of non fertilizer? Why government is not promoting? Then IFCO has come, they forced us to put this nanofertilizer. You heard about it? Now nano is coming, and your university also they are going for drone spray and all. Right? It's fine. Technology is required now, present day. But what the society requires, whether a farmer is able to spray with his drone, whether he is able to control, who is controlling drone? Manufacturing of a sprayer. Who is manufacturing a sprayer? Technology is required. Technology is required. But who is manufacturing sprayer? Somebody in Madurai? Somebody in Melur? Melur is a hotspot of agriculture tools and implements. When I was studying, so lot of tools and implements they used to manufacture. One of the local area is Melur. This city is known for manufacturing agriculture small implements. Now, whether they are able to make drones, drone is coming from heavy investment. Somebody from high investment. Whether it is required for us, this is a question. Question mark. People say it will do it. It is just like using knife for both the purpose. One is this kind of technology. Similarly for nanofertilizer. Nanofertilizer, only 3 years it has been, and it has been put into FCO. FCO I have studied. What is FCO? Fertilizer control. It is there in your course. Some glimpse you are giving. What is fertilizer control order? Yes, no. MSc student, second year student. Whether you have studied what is FCO, fertilizer control order, you Google it, download that PDF file is there, just go through it. Just go through the glimpse. What is FCO? It is very, very, very important. Some of the students, those who are going to face ARS exam or outside exam, these are all the things you should understand. What is FCO? You learn. Fertilizer Control Order draws its power from the Essential Commodity Act. It's a Parliament Act. So any inputs which are going to be sold in the country must be listed in the FCO. Until otherwise it is listed in the FCO, you cannot sell it in India. Okay, so this is the power of FCO. So to listed in the FCO, you must provide the data, complete data. So if I am bringing some biostimulant, if I am bringing some fertilizer, combinations, complex fertilizer, 20-20-20, what is its effect on different crops, where it is suitable, what is its specification, completely you have to submit. Where we will be sitting, we will be screening all these details, data. We will screen the data. Then finally, technical committee will give 2-3 times. Maybe it will take 1 year, 2 year. Then finally, it will be approved. So once if it is listed in the FCO, then only the company will be allowed to manufacture that brand in India. So without FCO, you cannot manufacture. Now FCO is available for organic fertilizer also, organic manures, biofertilizer also. So even people are selling without FCO order, but it is illegal. So you must know what is the FCO. You just read this. If you have a phosphatic fertilizer, you said phosphorus solubilizer, zinc solubilizer. What is its specification? So how much cell it should have per ml? What is its life? What is its shelf life? So all these specifications are there. What is the carrier material? What is the pH? All the details will be there as a student. Other things you will learn here in your classroom. But when you go outside, when you are looking for the industry, you should know all these things. The society needs something different of you. What you have learned is only the basic process. Say example, now you have learned what is your teacher might have studied, what is profile, what is basic pedogeny process, what is your chemical changes occurring, what is the layer. If you are best even in this, nobody will give you job. Now say example, in Chennai, around Bangalore city, around Coimbatore, new soilless cultivation is coming in a very large way, very large way. The export potential is something around $20 million per year. $20 million. Cut flower industry, grow media industry. Nothing. Once upon a time, we used to throw out coconut husk, sugarcane bagasse, sugarcane waste. We throw it out. Now, people even started thinking, I don't want even sugar out of sugarcane cultivation. I want only the fiber. My friends are working. I want only fiber. With the fiber, I will earn more money than what I am making in through sugar. Now your breeding process is different. Now people are breeding for fiber. Now coconut, I can throw it out. 15 rupees, nothing. I will throw it out. I want fiber because they learn how to market it. They brought value addition into this wasteful product. These are all composting technique. We as a soil scientist, we have learned how to compost it. Completely compost. Completely nutrient release has to be there. It should be completely released, or it should have carbon content should be very low. It should be broken down. Another way is there. If not, I have only fiber, it is not decomposing. like your coconut husk. It is not decomposing. That I can make use of as grow media in the potted plants. Now, entire world desert area, China is going a very large scale. Even in Gulf countries, they go large scale. Entire rooftop, we call it urban gardening. So in India alone, 1,400 crores this year we have spent only on urban gardening. Entire urban garden is not of soil, but of grow media. So this grow media is nothing but hydroponics. It can be of coconut husk or vermicompost base. It can be of compost and soil mix. Different ratios you have to work it out. So as a soil scientist, what you can learn? There is a need, there is a change in the society, perception and demand. How you will position yourself. When you have studied a soil science, how you will fit into this? Simple. There you need a nutrient availability. That's what madam has asked. What is the efficiency of nutrient? So if you are able to answer in my soil, if I do this management technique, this is the 30% efficiency of nitrogen, or only 25% efficiency of 5%, 10% efficiency of micronutrient. But if you go for grow media, there is no weeds, there is no loss of moisture. You can use hydrogel, you can use close it and go for hydroponics recycling. Then your nitrogen use efficiency is as high as 80%. Your zinc use efficiency or micronutrient efficiency as high as 40 to 60%. If you are able to tell the same technique, same terminology, same understanding, you will apply for a grow media in the area where it is growing up. That is the industry change. But there they have a problem. So, say example iron. So you might have studied in waterlogged soil. If you've done physical chemistry of soil, you have course physical chemistry of waterlogged soil. That is one of the most important course you must understand. Maybe sometimes it's boring when your chemistry teacher is teaching. That is one of the most important course that gives you clear edge when you go anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. Even if it's a chemical engineer, even if so many engineers will come, other subject people will come. Even IAS people, I have faced it. So in the meeting, everybody will be sitting if minister is asking a question. So simply, some 2 months back when parliament session is there, just small information. They have put up, one guy has put in the WhatsApp media, in Hyderabad, people can grow in the green means polyhouse. So -20 they can create it. -20 they have created. -20 create பண்ணியாச்சு. அதுக்குள்ள சேஃப்ரான் இல்லையா குங்குமப்பூ அதை வந்து வளர்க்கலாம்னு சொல்லி மெசேஜ் போட்டாச்சு. மினிஸ்டர் கண்ணில் பட்டுருச்சு. Minister called a meeting and PMO has called a meeting. You discuss. So big discussion was there. And minister is chairing the meeting and all the three ministers were sitting. All the secretaries were sitting. In Hyderabad, if you are able to grow and the greenhouse kulla vandu -20 which is saffron cultivate பண்ணியாச்சு. Why India cannot promote it? So saffron is so highly priced thing. The minister is asking why we can sanction so many polyhouse. Secretary IAS officer. He told, okay sir, no problem sir. We have 1,200 rupees sir. So how many polyhouse we can construct? Sir, 500 polyhouse we can construct. We will try it. We will do it. He will say, we will learn to say yes only. You will not say no. So this one set of people. Another set of people, research people, sir, we have to study. Sir, we have to do it. You are skeptical fellows. ICR fellows, all scientists are very skeptical. They will not say yes. IAS people, they immediately say yes, and scientists immediately say no. How to understand this? Then discussion was there for 50 minutes, no conclusion. And he has to deliver talk next day in the parliament. Whether we can grow in the polyhouse, this saffron other cultivation. When everybody left, only 10 people were sitting. The minister is so relaxed at that time. Maybe he, instead of getting angry, remember relaxed. I just coffee kudichittu, so only I was there. And other people left. Being a junior, I was sitting in the last. Then he saw the camera பார்த்துட்டு, then he started commenting. IAS officer வச்சுக்கிறோம், இவ்வளோ scientist வச்சுக்கிறோம். They are not able to give me suggestion. நாளைக்கு போய் how I will face daddy fellow. He will scold me. So he is asking some plan. He is murmuring himself. Then I took my chance. Sir, can I submit one small thing? And he was talking, chai pillow. I told, no, sir, if you permit out of box, I will tell you something. He told, out of box jokes, katta hai, maar do. Bolo, kya karna? Sir, I will not tell exact meaning, but if you permit, Allah, கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 40-50 பேஜுக்கு வந்து இவ்வளவு பெரிய டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காரு. அவர் சொல்றாரு மினிஸ்டர், 40 பேஜ் யார் போய் பார்லிமெண்ட்ல வாசிக்கிறது? விச் பொலிட்டிஷியன்ஸ் will listen to 40 page? Even Prime Minister is not coming to Parliament. Kisko bolna? There was hot discussion. Very simple. Then I told, sir, if you know, You can create minus 20, okay, in greenhouse, but you cannot create Jammu Kashmir inside the polyhouse. You can create minus 20, but you cannot create Jammu Kashmir inside the polyhouse. This is what I do. He laughed and immediately he wrote it. அது எழுதிட்டார் அவர். This is what I wanted. That's all. Next day, அவர் அதே word use பண்ணார் parliamentல. What is the scheme of government? He simply told all the documents are tabled in the parliament, 40 pages you can read. We can create a polyhouse, but we cannot create Jammu Kashmir inside the parliament, inside the greenhouse. It is not possible. That's the meaning. He closed. Everybody laughed in the parliament. The matter is closed. Now, after that, they told how to talk to your politicians. What message you will convey. In 100-page document, you have to convey in 1 page. So, this is what a social change is occurring. Technology is there, but there are people in the outside, so fraudulent people. Now, fraud people are more outside. They will come and drag government system. They will come and drag everybody into the desired rank. அவனுக்கு target வேற மாதிரி இருக்கும். How you will tackle it? Until otherwise, you understand the basic process. நம்ம ஒரு saffron வருதுன்னா அதோட how we இந்த குங்குமப்பூ எப்படி வருது? What's its flavor? It's a geotech indicator. Is it not? So Jammu Kashmir na, it has a wind. It has not only chillness of minus 20, minus 40. It has a period. It has a soil. It has a reflectance. It has a emissivity. It has a wind flow. It has a pest and disease condition. Ellam put together, you will get the saffron. This is what this is geo indicator. Geo indicator, geotagged product means it is the product of that geological location, not of one seed alone. It's a geological indicator. Indicates the geography, where from it comes. So either நீங்க அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணாதான் நீங்க வந்து ஒரு மினிஸ்டருக்கு ஆன்சர் பண்ண முடியும். Either you are IAS, either you be a scientist, you cannot answer until otherwise you understand this fact. It's a product of the surrounding. இதுதான் நம்ம கன்வே பண்ணணும். Because this is the technology, one side, another you have a need from the government side. This you have to bridge the gap in the coming days. அப்போ இன்னைக்கு நான் சொன்ன ஒண்ணு, grow media is coming in a large way, and this kind of new techniques will come. People will misinterpret. So if you are a scientist, if you are a soil scientist, if you are agriculture chemist, you will be able to say. And similarly, now soil health card, another important schemes of government. You work on this. Everybody work on this. But அதுல என்ன பண்றோம் நம்ம? ஹெல்த் கார்டு குடிச்சிடறோம். எந்த ஃபார்மர் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்றான்? Whether you explain, nobody will understand. அதுல இன்புட் கொடுத்து இல்லையா? கொடுத்துருவீங்களா இல்லையா? ஜிங்க் கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க. எந்த ஃபார்மர் ஜிங்க் போடுறான்? Each and every farmer we have given soil health card. Whether that guy use it, so half done, half we have not done. So input ஓட நம்ம அதை லிங்க் பண்ணல, ஃபார்மர்ஸ்க்கு அவேர்னஸ் கொடுக்கல, பட் ஹெல்த் கார்டு பண்றோம். So there is a lack of planning in the government system. Another, அது எப்படி நம்ம டெஸ்ட் பண்றோம்? ஒருத்தன் வந்து ஸ்பெக்ட்ரோமீட்டர்ல டெஸ்ட் பண்றான், இன்னொருத்தன் ஹெல்த் கார்டுல செட் பண்றான், இன்னொருத்தன் வந்து லிட்மஸ் பேப்பர் செக் பண்றான். What standard system we are using? Whether in done in laboratory, somebody use fast machines, color போட்டுட்டு extraction எடுத்துட்டு they will develop color and they will read it. So by reading qualitative test on. So many of the things they have done it by qualitative test. Organic carbon you can say qualitative test. Some of the thing which can be extracted you can do by qualitative test. Like example phosphorus. When you extract, only 20% will come. Remaining calcium phosphate, aluminum phosphate, it will not come to the solution. Like zinc carbonate, it will not come. Iron 2 plus will dissolve, 3 plus will not dissolve when it get oxidized. How you will do it? So sample எடுக்கும்போது whether it is wet or dry, that will decide your fertility. When sample is done, when you are doing during rainy season or summer season, that will take up all your accuracy. So what you are giving is nothing. It's just like a fraud. So this is the thing as a soil scientist you have to understand. But if you know process, basic process of principle, for nitrogen நம்ம estimate பண்றேன்னா என்ன பண்றோம்? You will not remember. இன்னைக்கு எனக்கு தெரியாது கிளாஸ்ல நான் எப்படி பண்ணேன். எங்க டீச்சர் சொல்லுவாங்க, சாந்தி மேடம் இதுல 0.5 நார்மல் எடு, இது வந்து இந்த பெர்சன்டேஜ் எடு, இதை கால்குலேட் பண்ணு. Only thing what I understand, nitrogen will evolve from the system when you have a alkaline condition. Basic alkaline conditions இருந்துட்டு கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா nitrogen ammonia will come out, because in alkaline ammonia will get evaporate or come outside. When you give heat, more ammonia will come. Then it gets circulate, cool it, absorb in salicylic acid, you will get ammonium salicylate. This you back treated with the acid. So acid now you back convert this much grams of acid is equivalent to this much of nitrogen, then you break calculate based on the Avogadro number. So this is what I have learned from my teacher. Still, I don't know what is an harmonity. What is these are all the things you can learn it in your basic book, in your chemistry book, in your manual. You will know what is the percentage, what is this, everything you will learn. But if you don't know the principle, you cannot survive outside. But if you know the principle, even if you go the outside industry, people are looking for you only. Electronics fellow, engineering fellow, what they know? They know how to design a machine. They know how to absorb the salicylic acid, ammonia into salicylic acid. They will not say whether it is completed or not. They will not say, but you will know. When there is a broth completes. When salicylic ammonia is out of this, then there is an indicator which will indicate the completions of the reaction. This is what your strength. This is your basic science that you read it here. This technology, this knowledge will be useful when you go outside. For industrial போயிட்டு நீங்க ஒரு மெஷின் டிசைன் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னா you will surprise to know electronics fellow he doesn't know all these things. There they are looking for this gap. There is a gap of knowledge. One is soil science, chemistry படிக்கிறீங்க, but you don't understand what is electronics, how a machine, how the private industry functions. அது நமக்கு தெரியறது இல்லை. அதே மாதிரி private industry what is the basic principles in soil science they don't understand. But as a student, நீங்க இதை தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா in the future you can design a machine. You can design a, you know the Gildal, history of Gildal, how Gildal has grown in Germany, you just read it. That fellow is a dropout, BSc chemistry dropout. He built such an empire of chemical instruments. But during his time, he learned all the basic principles. Bill Gates, he's a dropout. Oxford University dropout. When he was studying, he was scolded by not completing his homework by his teacher. He went outside, he built an empire. So these are all the people, those who build the empire, they understood the basic. They are not a brilliant students or scientists. So you have to learn what you have learned and the basic principle understanding. Your mark is important, not important. Your attitude and understanding important. இதை நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம்னா immediately you will get into the job. Immediately I tell you, இன்னைக்கு நீங்க போனாலும் fertilizer industry there are 14 fertilizer companies under the ministry. I have checked all these guys, all the scientists working there. They don't know the basic of science. For urea production, MFCL, yesterday I attended the interview for one senior scientist position. They know how to design the machine, they know how to produce, they may know how to granule, all science and chemical technology they know. But I asked only one simple thing. What is the difference between ammonia and nitrate when you go apply in the soil? You are manufacturing a fertilizer. You are applying. How you will convince a farmer? How to make awareness among the farmer about the difference between ammoniacal fertilizer and nitrate fertilizer? He said both are granules. You will apply. Both are nitrogen. Then I asked why you are preparing NH4 and NO3. What is the role of NO3 and NH4? There should be something that they are not able to understand. This you will understand. As if you studied soil fertility and if you studied physical chemistry of soil, this is the chemistry part which will fetch you job, I tell you. One equation will give you one job. I can guarantee you. If you properly understand, if you take it to the field. People don't know this. There is a gap in science, in the industry. So these are all the applications of your agriculture chemistry into the present day changing need of the industry. So you can be a designer of a machine, you can be compete with the electronics guys, you can be fit into the fertilizer industry, you can fit into the environmental science vis-a-vis your current changes in the society. Until otherwise, you come out of yourself. Until otherwise, you don't understand what is your strength, what is required in the field, you cannot success in it. அதான் நான் சொல்றேன். நீங்க டிகிரி வாங்கிட்டு நான் சாயில் சயின்ஸ்னா இப்படிதான் நான் இருப்பேன், சர்வே தான் பண்ணுவேன், எங்க டீச்சர் வந்து சர்வே தான் பண்ண சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா யூ வில் நெவர் சக்சீட். உங்க டீச்சர் வந்து சாயில் சீரிஸ் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. யூ ஷுட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் வாட் இஸ் த ஃபேஸ் டிஃபரன்ஸ். உங்க டீச்சர் வந்து சாயில் சர்வே சொல்லி தந்திருப்பாங்க. பட் ஹவு டு கிரிகிங் அண்ட் ஆல் திங் யூ ஷுட் நோ. தீஸ் ஆர் ஆல் மார்க்கெட் டிரைவர், மார்க்கெட் டிமாண்ட் டிரைவர். ஸோ இந்த சேஞ்சஸ் பண்ணினாதான் யூ வில் பி இன்வைட்டட் பை த பீப்புள். டோன்ட் லுக் ஃபார் ஜாப் அலோன். நீங்க ஏன் ஜாப் பண்ணணும்? You can be an entrepreneur. You can be a good entrepreneur. You can devise good device. இப்போ கூட நான் சொல்றேன் சாயில் கார்பன் எல்லாமே சொல்லுவேன். சாயில் கார்பன் வந்துட்டு ஒரு சிம்பிள் கார்பன் வந்து 0.4 0.5 எல்லாமே இருக்கும் இல்லையா? Now you go for soil carbon estimation, one small tool. And the tool வந்து எப்படி estimate பண்றது carbon, how to sequester carbon in the soil. It is a big industry globally now. So voluntary soil carbon market is already approved in India. Now it is going to be rolled out. So government wants a voluntary soil carbon market in agriculture வந்துருச்சுன்னா, they will be looking for so many soil scientists. So many soil scientists particularly known for carbon sequestration studies. They will be much required in the field. So lot of industries looking for people can understand. Carbon estimation மட்டும் பத்தா. You have to know complete carbon chemistry, both pedogenic carbonate as well as biological carbonate. So this is what in the next few years is going to offer you much job. It is required. So these are all some of the things that technology changes is coming in the field of Indian agriculture, particularly with reference to soil science, soil chemistry. You have to understand this. So once you understand this, then you can place it in a better positions in the coming world. Now government job மட்டும் assures கிடையாது, government job மட்டும் போகணும்னு கிடையாது. These are all the wide applications of soil and agriculture chemistry in the coming days. Understanding is very, very, very important. So understanding இல்லாம நம்ம படிச்சோம் அப்படின்னா it is of no use. It is of no use. A chemistry means you should calculate, able to calculate why to do it. What is the equivalent basis? This one basic chemistry, so far nobody has proved it, nobody has disproved it. You know this? Avogadro number, who has proved it? Equivalent chemistry, who has proved it? Still we are calculating. It's perfectly working. Universally it is working, but it is not yet proved. Who has counted number of atoms? Mendeleev, when you put up the table, who has taken weight of all these things with the physical balance? Nobody has done it, but he has put it because it's output of your knowledge. That's what very important. Novelty in your interpretation. That gives you a very greater height in your life. So I wish all the success as a student of the soil and agriculture chemistry of this college, provided you learn to understand these changes in your society and try to go for application of your science in the changing need. Don't look for what you have learned alone. What is the industry wants, what the society changes is there, you have to apply and look for the truth. Then you will be succeeding yours. To succeed, you should have a target. So this is my two message for you all, and I have taken a lot of time with you. Thank you very much, madam, for patiently hearing me. Okay, thank you very much.
Here to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of the Department of Soils and Environment, I thank our Dean SPGS for giving the permission to conduct this guest lecture. And also I thank our guest speaker, Dr. A. Velmurugan sir, who has come over here from the New Delhi. Is NRM Assistant Director. Thank you very much, sir. And also I thank our Dean A.C.N.R. Madurai for conducting this guest lecture. I thank our Professor and Head, Department of Soils and Environment, for conducting this guest lecture. And also I thank all the faculty members of the Department of Soil Science. And also I thank all the students who are here, who are patient enough to hear the lecture given by the Dr. Velmurugan sir. So he has given this science is more important than your studies. You must know the science, then only you can survive in the world. You can become as an entrepreneur based on your scientific knowledge. So thank you very much. Thank you.